You're listening to In the Lead, the podcast for real estate pros looking to grow their business. Whether you're new to the business or a seasoned pro, we come to you each week with the latest technology and online strategies to help you sell more, work less, and make a difference in your community through your real estate business. This show is brought to you by Easy Agent Pro, creators of Lead Sites, the ultimate lead generation website for agents. For show notes and links, check out easyagentpro.com/podcast.
Welcome to In the Lead, the podcast that helps agents leverage the internet to sell more, work less, and make a difference in their community. I'm your host, Sean Dominski, and this week I sit down with Tyler Zai, and we're talking about the one thing you can be doing to increase the response of your leads 2 to 5% of what you're currently getting. But first, this episode is brought to you by Audible. Get your free audiobook when you sign up for Audible at easyagentpro.com/audible. Hey, Tyler, you've been reading quite a bit this week. Do you have a recommendation for our audience to check out?
Yeah, actually, the book, I finished a couple, but the one I really think agents should check out, mostly because it's out of real estate, and when you get your mind out of real estate for maybe a couple hours a week, you see clearer. It's like cleaning your glasses or going and getting an eye check if you don't wear glasses. I don't know. But the one I read was this book called American Icon. It's by Bryce Hoffman. If you don't know, Ford and the housing crash and the bubble, Ford almost collapsed. They're the only American automotive company not to take money from the government. But the interesting thing about this book is it talks you through crash after almost crash after almost crash of Ford from like way back when Henry Ford founded it through now. And you can kind of see similarities between the things that made them successful after almost crashing and the things that you can do to be better in your real estate business. So for example, like what do I mean by that? Well, Ford was operating on the premise of, hey, trucks that use a lot of gas sell great. And guess what? A lot of real estate agents are operating on the premise that, hey, if I just send postcards, I'll be great. Or, hey, I got in this business, make a lot of money fast. All I got to do is A, B, and C, just that. And what we're all doing is we're listening to historical performance. And not nuanced historical performance either. We're looking at, trucks always sold, so they'll probably always sell. We're not looking at, gas was cheap and now it's rising like crazy. We're not looking at the things that are changing. We're looking at the things that are steady. So what I think the book taught me was that you need to always be prepared for the marketing tactic and the thing that will market you for the next 50 years consistently, not the tactic that's been used for the last 50 years consistently, right? You always need to be at least trying and failing on new ideas so that you don't, rely on the old ones so much that you fail critically and your business dissolves. And that's what I thought was really interesting about that book. There are a lot of cool takeaways from how you can use weekly 10-minute business meetings to get better results from maybe your inside salespeople or maybe your admin department, listening to the things they're saying to build better systems. One thing I know we did here at Easy Agent Pro, for those of you that don't know, we went from last January having about 30,000 visitors to our site to this January having over 115,000 real estate agents on our site. That's big, right? And when you grow like that, sometimes you have to pause, hit the pause button, and rewrite all of the emails, all the templates, all the processes that are going to get you from 115,000 to 500,000, right? And for a lot of agents, if you went and looked at the actual foundation and the things that are representing your business, you could probably do a nice little sweep up and find some emails that your admins are sending that you could write better, some phone scripts that your inside salespeople are using that could be updated. And with that, you could convert your leads at a higher percentage, or you could make your customers happier and thus get more referrals. There's a lot of that little gutter work that the book really taught me about. So I'd really recommend it, American Icon. It's a short read. It's only 400 pages. Really, really good book.
Sweet. Yeah, totally. And yeah, if anyone's interested in that, you can check it out at easyagentpro.com/audible, and they can download the audiobook, check that out, and start that subscription
NFL's
there.
Gone, so you can start replacing those Sundays with some Audible book listening,
Yeah, seriously. So, all right, cool. All right, so today I wanted to just chat a little bit. You had an article on the site that It was called "If You Value Your Real Estate Career at All, Make This One Change to Your Follow-Up System."
Right.
And it just was so simple, but when you look at the statistics and you look at the facts, it makes so much sense. And I'm looking at this, and I mean, basically, I'm saying you could double the response of your leads and converting your leads into sales. But reality is that's a very I'm really much under exaggerating what that is. I'm saying double, but if you look at what the majority of real estate agents are doing across the country when they get a lead, when they get a number or something, you have here less than 5% of leads are contacted within 24 hours.
Yep.
So what does that necessarily mean?
Yeah, so when someone, you just got to think of how the customer thinks, right? Which is another thing that, like, this I think that the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, is what he always says. You got to think how the customer thinks, not what your competition is doing. So a lot of real estate agents are really concerned about what their competitor is doing. But if you'll just think, like, what's the customer thinking at the moment they go to your site, find it remotely interesting, and put something into a contact form? They're probably expecting like a response back. And the way the internet works, they're expecting a response back like immediately, which sort of ties into what we're doing right now at Easy Agent Pro with this new app that we're releasing this week called Texty. It texts them immediately upon entering any contact information into any form, a unique message that you're able to customize. But what that does is it cuts down that quit window, right? So every person, they go try to sign up for, I don't know, go find a plumber online. Like, that's something that's really similar to real estate. You can find like 5 plumbers' websites, fill your contact information in, and I guarantee you, like, only one of them will call you or reply to you, and they'll probably do it like 24 hours from now. And so, like, that's a really disappointing experience. And when you're a real estate agent, you're like, oh, how can I get more clients? Well, maybe if you just converted the leads you already had by texting them instantly, you would get more of those people to do business with you.
Right. Well, and also, I mean, it's one of those things where you hear it and you're just like, there's no like, of course, if I get a lead, if you give me a lead, I'm going to call them immediately. Why would I ever wait or delay on calling back a lead? And the answer is, well, maybe it's not necessarily your fault, because we're not saying, necessarily the majority of real estate agents are too lazy to call them up right away, which may or may not be true, but it's that, you're busy, you're in the middle of a meeting, no one wants to be having their agent show them houses or talking with them on the phone or so, and it's like, hold on a second, I gotta text this person back, or I need to make a phone call. If you're in a closing, if you're in a meeting, if you're showing houses, you can't always get right back to someone instantaneously if you get a lead or a phone call necessarily. So having some of these kind of, I don't even want to call them automated follow-up, because that kind of, it makes it a little bit more complicated.
Right,
I like to simplify things, and it's just kind of like that nudge, that people call it drips, another word I hate, but just that touch right there. And we were talking about like how how can agents better serve not just their clients but their marketplace,
right? And
having that instant text just touch right there. I mean, what do you think the percentage of people who prefer a text message over a phone call is?
Obviously,
in general?
Did you watch the Super Bowl last night, Sean?
I was watching my kids from like, I was trying to keep my little toddlers from like killing themselves with all the non-baby proof like room we were in at this party. But in between that, yes, I was watching the Super Bowl.
So were there were other people there, right? You're at a party.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so for every 5 minutes, you probably looked around the room or something. Like, was there ever a moment in time when you looked around the room that someone wasn't on their phone?
Well, I wasn't paying attention, but I assure you there was, especially since some of us were texting each other within the room.
You're texting each other. Like, I was at a party and we were watching the game, but like no one was watching the game. Like, between Twitter, Facebook, texting, your phone, like I don't know if there was ever a point in time where everyone there wasn't on their phone. It was crazy. And so, like, how do people want to get they don't want you to call them. They don't want to hear from you like a week later. They literally want you to like follow what all of their other communication people are doing, and that's texting for majority of Americans, and for people listening in Canada, and I'm sure it's that there too. Like texting is direct marketing at its finest. Like you can literally customize the message you're sending. You can put their name in there. It's direct mail with free stamps. It's better than door knocking. What we're seeing industry wise here at Easy Agent Pro everywhere is that you're getting a 45% reply rate to your text messages. And that's insane. I don't know the last time emails got opened 40% of the time. I don't know the last time people checked their Twitter and replied 40% of the time. I don't know anything else that works better than that.
Right.
I mean, do you? Like, it's what people do.
Yeah, seriously. And that's the thing. Like, people talk about open rates when it comes to direct mail or email or so, and text is pretty much at I don't want to say 100% because sometimes unknown senders can go to some, but pretty much everyone checks their text messages. Now, if you abuse that, if you're going to send out a bunch of spam or automated texts that no one ever asked for or wanted to see, then you're gonna face some problems either from even regulation. Like there's a spam filter on email. There's no spam folder on your text message. Like, I'm not saying go spam it, but look at the ease of entry there. Like, it's so much easier, and it's how people want to reply. Like, are you practicing those 160 character scripts? Because I guarantee you none of your competition is. It's the easiest way to up your response, up your conversion. And I called it the quit window just because it's that moment when they're entering that contact info, when you're going to the 5 plumbers websites and you enter your contact information just hoping that some semblance of humanity will reach back out to you. Like, and there's like this moment in time, and it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Like goldfish now have a longer short-term memory than we do. And like, do you reply within that quit window or do you not? Now, I will say that the case can be made that you still need to get on the phone with your prospect, with your client at some point. No one's going to buy a house through you via text or email or Facebook. Like, you have to get on the phone with them, set up that appointment, and start that business relationship with them. But that text message is what's going to get them through that quit window. You might not be able to get on the phone with them until a couple hours or a day later or something like that, because you're busy, because they're busy, we're all busy. But if you can at least have that text conversation, that touch there, then that's going to keep them from that. They're going to know that you're going to be able to solve their problems, as opposed to, well, I don't know if this person's going to be able to help me. I have to go call the next 3 or 4 agents. You want to get them from that research stage into the working with you stage. And that's kind of the idea there, where you're shooting that text message. You might even have a little bit of back and forth conversation, but you're getting them, they're not going into that quit window, that almost like the dip, the trough of nothingness, where they're now calling 3 other agents, and by the time you get back to them, they could care less. And we all do it. And it's because communication is so instant. By the time they leave that information and they fill out that form, they're ready to be contacted. They're not looking. People are like, well, no one wants to hear from an agent right away.
Yeah, that's such bogus. That's a lot. Like, when they're filling out those types of contact forms after reading a blog, after reading, stuff that like prompts them to have interest in real estate. Like, it's not that you shouldn't contact them right away. That's just not the case at all. And all stats back that up. Like, that's not just me saying. Like, if you go look at the sales reports done by big agencies, it's just the immediacy of that first contact is what matters. Like, why do you think Amazon's investing like billions of dollars in same-day delivery? Because humans want to click the button and have the action happen. It's like that one really historical what's that really famous psychology experiment with the mouse, with the food and the button pushing? Oh well, someone will reach out to me on Twitter and like say, Tyler, this is what you were talking about. But it was like the mouse like kept pushing the button when it got fed, and like that's what people are online. They want to read it, find the solution, contact you, and have an immediate conversation with a human. And this is just one way. Our app does it. You can rig up a solution with whatever website and texting solution you can find out there. But it's just what matters right now. Like it's just what matters to people, and that's what matters to your real estate business, is what everyone else cares about. It's looking at, the funny thing is, like, the Super Bowl just happened and people were paying like $5 million for the average ad, right? And yet, if like at your party, at my party, at everyone who's listening's party, most of those people were on their phones. Like, what does it cost? Like Easy Agent Pro was running Super Bowl ads. Why? Because we had ads on video on everyone's Facebook for like 2 cents a view, and you can do the exact same thing. But do you? Are you there where people are? And all it takes is some observation and simple execution.
All right, so there you have it, folks. If you do nothing else this week, you want to start reaching out and getting a hold of your leads before they get through that quit window. If you do that, hopefully by text is a great way to do it. If you have to call or email, the most important thing is to contact your leads as soon as possible, because that's how they're expecting you to get in touch with them.
Yeah, and they're also just looking for you to be where they are, right? People are just on their absolute mobile phone like all the time, whether it's during the Super Bowl or just during the average daily life. So you just get there, and texting's the first step, and then you can look at things that are more complicated, like Facebook ads or blogging, which I think is what we're going to talk about next week, Sean. So you should tune in.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah.
What did you want? What do you think we're going to talk about next week?
Yeah, so next week we're going to go into actual how to write your first blog post, what to do, and like why you need to do that next week. Like just start the blog post, why it's better than everything in our opinion, from cold calling to postcards to flyers to everything. Why it's the best way to start building a referral business, because that's what we believe at Easy Agent Pro, is that your blog and starting that one blog today is how you eventually get that referral business that everyone dreams about in real estate.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, everyone have a great week. Talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to In the Lead. If you've enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher and leave us an honest review. For more great content like this, check out our blog at easyagentpro.com.